Good morning. I've been noticing ever since basically the beginning of May, this is when it started, right when school let out for the summer, for a lot of people, that the anti-smoking commercials are getting a lot more prevalent. They're everywhere. Oh, and they have new horror stories to show all of us. Now they're kind of emphasizing the really scary shit. The things, the diseases that turn once beautiful people into monsters that terrify our children who watch these commercials with immature minds that don't understand as adults do what's really going on here. Which, of course, us adults, we know what they're doing. They're turning our children into smoke Nazis, into smoking police. They want our children to watch these images and come screaming and crying to any adult they see light a legal cigarette and start screaming and crying, oh, you're going to turn into the monster on the TV. Well, this show is going to debunk some of these so-called smoking-related tragedies. And these are tragedies. These people are really sick. I do believe that. What caused them to get sick? Well, that's up for debate only because we don't know enough about these people in these commercials to justify their claims that only cigarette smoking, smoking alone, caused their illness. Let's start with the easy one. This is a new one. The dude that talks about a beautiful smile and then pulls out all his teeth. He looks like a monster. Well, you know what? There are millions of Americans out there who have lost their teeth, who wear dentures. Many of them, in fact, a lot of them, have never smoked a cigarette in their life, and I don't believe anyone is actually trying to tell us, because they would be laughed out of the room, that secondhand smoke causes tooth loss. The reason most Americans lose their teeth is because of bad dental hygiene. They don't brush properly, they don't floss properly, and they don't go to the dentist. And many Americans are just born with rotten teeth, like me. I have had rotten teeth. My mother was told when I was 6 years old I had a long road ahead of me if I wanted to keep my teeth. I wasn't a smoker at 6 years old, wasn't a smoker at 11 when my dental work started, and I certainly wasn't a smoker when I started not going to the dentist because I just didn't want to deal with it. It was unpleasant and it cost money and I didn't want to do it. I lost some of my teeth not because of smoking, but because it was cheaper to pull them than to get a root canal and a crown since I didn't have dental insurance. I wasn't going to pay $3,000 for a tooth when I could pay $50 and have it pulled. Now I go to the dentist on a regular basis. I take very good care of my teeth, and every tooth in this mouth right now is mine. Yes, they're crowned, but I have my teeth. I don't pull my teeth out at night, and I'm not a monster. And not one dentist, and I've been to a few, by the way, has ever told me, and they all know I smoke, that cigarette smoking is the reason I have bad teeth. Not one. So we got that one done. Let's talk about the military dude who had a heart attack. Well, guess what? There are millions of Americans who have massive heart attacks every day who never smoked a cigarette in their life. That 40-year-old trainer, the dude that spends his life training people, working out, was in his gym one day and had the Widowmaker, a massive heart attack at age 40. I know a marathon runner who had a massive stroke in his shower at age 42. Never smoked a day in his life, didn't live with a smoker. It just happened. Now, we know that bad eating, bad nutrition causes heart disease, high cholesterol, high blood pressure, being overweight. That all contributes to heart disease as well. Therefore, you could say that if you are overweight, you have more chance of having a heart attack than necessarily if you smoke 1 or 2 cigarettes a day, or even a half a pack a day. The bottom line is we don't know. This military dude, we don't know what kind of chemicals he was exposed to when he served in the military. We don't know enough about him. We don't know if he has a family history of heart disease, which also contributes. Again, just being devil's advocate here. Okay, this is not an advertisement for smoking. But I'm just sick and tired of people, these anti-smokers, these anti-smoking groups, who, by the way, pay for these commercials. And they know the message they want to get across, and they know who they want to target. They're targeting kids, so that the kids will turn on the adults in their lives and shame us into quitting smoking. These anti-smoking groups, they want to vanquish us from the face of the earth. That's how much they hate smoking. And they blame smoking for every single bad thing that has ever happened in their lives. A cavity. Get a cavity. Oh, smoke. It's the smoking. You get a head cold. Oh, if you quit smoking, you won't get any more head colds. BS. I call BS on that. Let's talk about the scariest ones of all. The ones that really terrify the kids in my life. And this is the oral cancers, the throat cancer, and the neck cancers. The one where the woman talks through a voice box. And I'm not making fun of her, please. I don't mean to do that. But I'm trying to explain to you, this scares little kids when they see somebody talking like that. Okay? The woman who half her face has been cut away and half her shoulder because she had oral cancer. All right. Let me give you another cause of oral cancer, because we did a show on it. And if any of my regular viewers can raise their hand right now and tell me which show it was, well, I'm going to tell you anyway. But a few months ago, I did a show dedicated to the rise in cases of oral cancer, throat cancers, and neck cancers. And I told you what the cause is. Because the study, the unbiased study done by not someone who's trying to vilify an illegal and make a legal product illegal by just shaming people into not using it or scaring people into not using it. These cancers are caused by a virus that is sexually transmitted called HPV, the human papillomavirus, and it's virulent right now. A lot of American adults are already infected, and there are no symptoms until you get sick. There is a test for women, so women can find out if they have it or not. Again, we don't know if the two women in these commercials, the one with oral cancer that lost half her face and the one who had throat cancer and talks with a voice box, if they have HPV. They don't tell you that. But the actor Michael Douglas, who, by the way, does not talk with a voice box and has survived stage 4 throat cancer, and he doesn't have a voice box. He's doing very well, actually. He said the reason he got throat cancer, even though he is a smoker, was from HPV. Interesting, isn't it? Now, there is a vaccine for HPV. It's called Gardasil. But you know what? There's another very loud group of people who are scaring parents away from vaccinating their children at the age when the Gardasil vaccine is at its best chance of eradicating these cancers. So that someday in the future, if everyone's vaccinated and there is no more HPV, then if someone gets the oral cancer, maybe they can blame smoking. But as of right now, HPV, human papillomavirus, is the leading cause of oral, throat, and neck cancer, especially in younger people, people in their 20s, 30s, and 40s, when, lo and behold, these people in the commercial said they were diagnosed with their cancers. See? Now again, I'm not telling anybody out there to start smoking. I don't do that on this show. That is a personal choice. But it is a personal choice because it's legal. And if you can afford it, and if you can handle the dirty looks and the criticism and the nagging from people around you, it's legal. It's your right to do it. It's your right to do anything that's legal, even if it bothers somebody else. What bothers me about these commercials is, once again, the lack of any real disclosure of who these people are. Are they sick? Yes. Is it tragic? Yes. Are they going to die? Probably. But again, not every case of heart disease, not every case of cancer is caused by smoking, even if the victim is a smoker. Let me remind you of another show we did. It was about breast cancer and milk. Milk, yeah. You know, the dairy, you're supposed to have it. Good calcium, helps your teeth. 85% of breast cancer victims drink milk. And all of a sudden, this ridiculous study somewhere in Europe said, well, maybe milk causes breast cancer. I don't see any commercials with women saying, I got breast cancer because I drank milk. You too can quit drinking milk. My tip for you, stop drinking milk, or you too could have no breasts. I don't see commercials like that because it's ridiculous, right? Say 85% of lung cancer victims smoke. But that same 85% also live in an area or in a home that has radon, or in a high pollution city where they are exposed to a lot of chemicals on a regular basis. So what came first? What caused the cancer? It's so easy and so much more fun to blame the evil tobacco industry than to blame something that we really can't do anything about, which is our environment. We can't stop the buses and the 18-wheelers from driving down our street, polluting our air. Most of us don't even know if we have radon or some kind of deadly poisons in our house. I'm going to give you one more horror story. And this really actually shocked me. I have a few people that I know who continuously say the reason they have asthma or any kind of lung issues is because they lived in a home where their parents smoked in their childhood. Okay? That's what the commercials are telling you, right? Well, I have another theory, and it's probably more likely, to be honest with you, because I don't and will never buy into that secondhand smoke bullshit. I just don't buy it. Again, the people who make the studies, who want the studies done, the people who do the studies know the results that these people who are paying them want to get. They want to scare people into quitting smoking. Period. They want to make smokers' lives so miserable that we just stop using the product, even though it's legal, and we enjoy it. Mouse shit, mouse urine, cockroach shit, and cockroach urine. Just saw this on TV, and I'll tell you, it was a real study. 82% of urban households. Now, I'm not saying they're dirty people or anything's wrong with it. It's just the way it is when you live in the city. 82% have mouse or rat droppings and urine in their home somewhere. And they may not even know it. But those droppings can cause breathing issues, especially in children. They can cause asthma and other issues with breathing. They can also cause some really bad infections and illness. Now let's talk about roaches. 92%, this was really shocking, 92% of urban households have cockroaches or cockroach droppings and urine in their home. Now, let me explain something to you. Well, I don't have any cockroaches in my house. I don't see them. Well, okay. The minute you see a cockroach, what do? You kill it. But you don't know where that cockroach has been. It's been all over your house, in your walls, in your floors, in your basement, everywhere. And along the way, it's had to go to the bathroom. And I promise you, it didn't use the toilet and flush after and wash its little paws or whatever they call them, tentacles. Mouse and rat droppings. You see a mouse, you put a mouse trap out, you catch the mouse, but do you know where he went to the bathroom? Can you see the urine? You can't. And I know because I've had mice and rats in this very house. Now the rat droppings are hard to miss. They're big. But urine? I've never seen rat urine, but if they're doing number 2, there's a really good chance they're doing number 1. How do you clean that up? So here is my thing. If you grew up or lived in a home in an urban environment or even out in the country where they have mice all the time, I don't know about roaches, but anyway, I know down at the beach they have cockroaches that are this big. It's just part of being on the beach. You have been exposed to their droppings, which could explain why you now have breathing issues. Now, some of you are going to watch this show and say, she's out of her mind, she's in denial, she just wants to believe that nothing bad's ever going to happen to her because she smokes. She's trying to make herself feel better. No, I'll tell you who tries to make themselves feel better, okay? People who never smoked and people who quit smoking. They're the ones who, when they get the call, oh, Aunt Lucy got diagnosed with the cancer. Oh, my God, lung cancer. Oh, my God. Oh, she smoked, right? Oh, yeah, a pack a day. Oh, okay, good. Well, tell her I'm praying for her. Goodbye. Whew. Yeah, she's a smoker. Doesn't mean I'll get lung cancer because I never smoked. They try to make themselves feel better. Blame the evil cigarettes. Blame the person who's sick. That's never going to happen to me. I can't get lung cancer. Well, for about 30% now of all lung cancer victims, that would be a stupid mistake, big mistake, huge, because 30% of diagnosed lung cancers in the recent 20 years are in people who never smoked a cigarette in their lives and never lived with a smoker. That's the stats, people. Those are the real facts. Okay? We deal with real facts on this show. People who quit smoking. Oh my God. Atta girl, I quit smoking. I'm so proud of myself. It was harder than quitting heroin. It's so hard, but I did it. Now I'm never gonna have a heart attack. Wow, ask that 40-year-old trainer who had the Widowmaker. Ask the 40-year-old who had a stroke in his shower. Oh, I quit the smoking. Never going to get lung cancer. You keep telling yourself that. Cool. Here's the problem with non-smokers, or newly quit smokers, let's put it that way. And this is another real statistic which I can prove with actual facts. In the first year after a smoker quits smoking, they are likely to gain anywhere from 14 to 40 pounds. And some of these people weren't exactly skinny when they quit. So now, they're never going to have a heart attack from smoking, but they might have a heart attack because they're morbidly obese. They have traded the risk of illness from one thing to the risk of illness from a completely different thing. It is very hard for someone to quit something that they do every single day. You can call it an addiction or a habit and not replace it with something else. And in many cases for smokers, when they quit smoking, they replace smoking with food. And it's not carrots and celery. It's the bad stuff. Many people smoke from habit because they want something to do with their hands. So instead of smoking, they're eating. And they're gaining weight. And they're trading one issue for another. As far as these commercials go, please, 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 talk to your children and be honest with them. I think children see these commercials and think that if everybody they love would just quit smoking, nothing bad would ever happen to someone they love. And they need to understand that that simply isn't true. I wish it were. If somebody told me right now that if I quit smoking, I would never be sick a day in my life and I would live another 50 years, I'd quit smoking right this second. But nobody can tell me that. Nobody can promise me that I won't get some other disease or illness, that I won't get hit by a bus, that I won't fall down the steps and break my neck, that I won't get in a car accident or a jet ski accident and be killed. There are no guarantees, and our children need to understand that, because what these anti-smokers are trying to do through our children is blame everything that makes children sad, everything that makes anyone they love sick, on one thing and one thing alone. And I'm sorry, it makes me angry. And it should make you angry too. That's it for me for today. My time is up. I'll see you back here tomorrow. Political Paula, out.